Good morning, everybody. Well, it's one of those days. A little chilly out. Had somebody borrowed my truck yesterday. They left their cup in it and some trash over there, and there's dog hair and food crumbs all over the seat. Go Old Blue. Good boy. Okay. We've got Old Blue. We've got Clifford. I've been looking for a suitable replacement to Old Blue. He's just getting long in the tooth, and I hadn't planned on selling him right away, but my buddy Kyle with the pawn shop where I do a lot of their small engine work, let's shut Old Blue off for a minute, does a lot of engine work, that I do the engine work for. Got a hold of me on Tuesday and he said, I just came back from an auction. Give me a few days and I've got something I want to show you. So I'm truck poor, guys. Meet Sylvester, as in Sylvester the cat. This is a 1995 Chevrolet Silverado that's going to become the new work truck. Let me grab the envelope here, or the folder rather. And I already went through and deciphered all the codes in the glove box, and we're going to do a quick walk around to the truck. As you can see, there is very little rust on the truck. Just a tiny little bit on the bottom edge of this door. Nothing on the rocker or quarter. Come around. The hood was repainted at some point, so it's in pretty good shape. And we've got some clear coat issues on the roof. We'll step back, get a look at the front of it. This truck makes an even dozen of this body style that I have owned. An even dozen. It had the vent visors on it, and I'm going to pull what's left off, take the sticky off, and put new vent visors on. I like having the vent visors. It's got tiny little bit of body damage. There's one little spot right here where something hit it and it just chipped the paint. Got a little dent there. And we've got a little whoops right here. It's a newer one because there is zero rust on the wrinkle. So I think I can push that back out. It's in a really good spot where I think I can get most of that out. But if you look at it, I didn't notice it the first time I looked at the truck. I mean, you look down it, it's difficult to notice. It's got a bed liner in it, and there's a bunch of crushed rock in here. But it's got the same bed liner that Old Blue's got. It's the GM Duraliner. I don't know if it's been in there for the life of the truck, but it's in there now, right? Sliding rear window, rear cargo lights. This is a well-optioned truck, so I'm going to be kind of spoiled going down the road. The interior, unfortunately, is this light gray, so it shows every single little bit of yuck. And the only windows that are tinted is this window and the back window. Passenger window, they pulled the tint off of it. But get a look in here. Power locks, power windows, power mirrors, cruise control, air conditioning, AM/FM stereo, cassette. I think that's funny. And the seats are actually a lot nicer than I thought that they would be. That's an armrest that drops down. Really large armrest, but that's a third passenger there. And when we look at the carpet's pretty trashed. You can see where some things have been spilled and it's not been cleaned out in ages. But It's a work truck, right? Well, let's pop the hood. Take a look in there. There we go. It is I'm going from a 4.3 liter to a 5.7. So Zippo's really happy about that, being able to step up. It's got a brand new battery in it. Everything checked out on the truck. It's got a little bit of loosey-goosey in the front end that I'll need to attend to. I also need to attend to the driver's door handle. You can get in, but you can't get out. You have to roll the window down to exit the vehicle, which I think is pretty funny. Transmission has a shift kit in it. It is the 4L60E and shifts really good and strong, cruises real nice down the highway. Everything works except for the power mirrors, and I believe that's just because a fuse has been pulled out, or fuse is blown, so I'll check into that. But it's got the sport mirror package. Sorry about that. Hang on, guys. Well, that was fun. 11 o'clock and all's well on this Friday, March 1st. Yay. Air conditioning. I do need to charge the air conditioning. I don't know if there's a clogged line or if the accumulator needs some attention or what it needs, but we'll address that. It's optioned with an oil cooler as well as a transmission cooler for the radiator, so we have lines going into both sides of the radiator. One side for oil, one side for the transmission. 100 amp alternator, factory. It's got factory sized tires on it. I will be putting Old Blues tires on this, as well as a few other parts. Came from the factory with a trailer package, which is nice. Let's go ahead and start it. What do you say? Let's see if this thing's gonna fire up. I've got an exhaust leak that it's just a donut on the Y pipe to the right manifold, but let's go ahead and kick her over here. There we go. It's a brand new belt, so we've got a little bit of squeak on the belt you can hear there, but runs good and strong. The valves are as clean as a whistle. I took my borescope and looked down the oil hole there, and just as clean as can be. Just super, super clean. So, what's the mileage on this beauty? Let's go ahead and climb inside and we'll take a look at the mileage on this thing. Got lumbar support on the seats too, which is nice with my back. Get the door shut enough to shut the beep off. There we go. Okay, you can see we're pushing 60 plus pounds of oil pressure. Let me get the stereo off. 60 plus pounds of oil pressure and over 14 volts of charge, which is great. But what's the mileage? I don't know if you guys can see it, so I'll read it for you. 128,945. That's 128,945. This is a very low mileage example of 1995. This is the first year for the new restyled interior. It's going to take a little getting used to having an airbag in my face, but I have an airbag fault right there. The truck is keyless fob capable, but it does not have any keyless fobs that came with it. So we're going to address that. I will pick up a new key fob and program it to it, and it's easy enough to do that. It was a non-smoker truck, but he was certainly a little bit on the dirty side. Got one bad spot on the dash right there. Pretty sure I'm showing it. Yeah. So I'll glue that together. There's just dirt everywhere. It's supposed to have two cup holders, another one pop out over here. So it just has the one, but that's okay because I always carry my little armrest deal. See, this is his trash too. Mark is going to end up with Old Blue, so I have to go through and swap parts out and get this back over to Old Blue or get old Blue over to Mark, which is one of Kyle, the pawn shop's employees, and he drove it yesterday to take the trade that I made to get this truck over to the warehouse. So what did I pay for the truck? I paid $0 for the truck. I have bartered so many trades to get to this end result, and I'll walk you guys through those real quick. I suppose I can go ahead and turn the camera and microphone around. Hang on. Hi guys. Don't look up my nose. Nothing to see there. I cleaned it out this morning. Alright, microphone's turned around. Alright, started off with a 1988 Silverado step side. I have a video on it. It was a custom that I built many years ago. I bought that truck for $3,300 and then commenced to doing all the customization on it. I then traded that truck for Calamity Jane, the 78 CJ5. Kept the CJ5 for about 5 years, and then Kyle had the Kawasaki KLX 250S that I wanted. So Kyle and I traded up, and I got some cash out of the deal, but we traded up. I traded for the motorcycle and cash. So the value of the motorcycle was at that time around the $3,500 mark. The motorcycle's value now is about $3,000. So Kyle and I worked out another deal. So I got this truck plus, and he already had a buyer for the motorcycle. It actually was the same guy that he sold my Jeep to once, the Kawasaki. So that all worked out great for Kyle. Kyle picked this up. He was, we're straightforward with one another. He told me he paid $800 for the truck. He then took it to his mechanic, and his mechanic put new cap, rotor, plugs, plug wires, one brake line, and just generally went over the entire truck just to make sure it was sound. So that took the $800 purchase price up to about $1,400. So he's got $1,400 in it, and pawn shops typically they want to try to double their money, so that would have brought it up around $2,800 thereabouts. So giving Kyle that amount in a trade for a $3,000 motorcycle, we were really close. Not quite close enough, so Kyle and I took care of that little bit of extra. Old Blue, I told you Mark took Old Blue over to another town to drop off the motorcycle. He came back, I absolutely love this truck. I've already moved into it. He had his dog in it. He had trash all over the place in it. He had already moved into it. He's ready to get his butt in the truck. He said it amazes him how well it drives and tracks straight and stops and just, and I told him, I said, well, I'm really picky about stuff, and I've got a folder on Old Blue that's an inch thick on repairs that I've made over the years with him. I'm gonna miss Old Blue. Got him from a neighbor many years ago, and he's been super reliable, sans a couple of repairs that I've had to make. Never left me stranded on the road. In fact, it helped a lot of stranded motorists. So now we're into uncharted territory with this 95. I know I've got a few things to do to it, and like I said, the door's not shut all the way. I'm gonna try to get the door open with the door handle, and I'll show you guys this. I have to pull really hard on the door handle to get the door to open. So, as you can see, that needs a little work, and the outside handle's cracked too, but fortunately got a used parts store, aka wrecking yard, just down the road, and I'm good friends with the owner, so I'll get in there and get my parts out and get them taken care of in this. I don't need to walk you through doing all that. And I'm also going to stop off today and get the remote. Got to run to the BMV, take care of that. I've already taken care of the insurance. So this is the new Old Blue, aka Sylvester, and it got its name. I've got Clifford, and that's you know, a cartoon character, and Lisa and I were talking last night about black cartoon characters, and first thing I thought of was that Felix the cat, so it could have been Felix. Then I thought of Pepe Le Pew, named the truck Pepe Le Pew, and she laughed. No. And she said, well, what about Sylvester? And I was like, that's the name, Sylvester. So we're going to get a plush Sylvester doll, stick it in the back window, and then we're going to get a Tweety bird to hang from the mirror. So I thought I'd putty tat. But I've babbled on for quite a while about the new truck. You guys will be seeing a lot more of it. I'm happy to get it, and it took many trades and barters along the way to get to this point, and with the miles as low as they are on it, I don't see any, because I've seen these 350s with 400,000+ miles on them, and the way I take care of things, I'm pretty certain I'll get that kind of mileage. So this may be a last owned vehicle. We'll see. If a nicer deal comes up for a 2500 3/4 ton, that's the route I'm going to go, because initially that's what I was looking for. But we'll stop now. I've got to get into town and get some running done. This is your friendly neighborhood Zippo. If you would please give me one of those thumbs ups. Oh yeah, see the scars? Another quick story. Those scars are compliments of Mark's dog. I was going to pop the hood for Mark on Old Blue, and his dog was in the truck in Old Blue. I reached in to pull the hood release, and the dog was very protective over her new truck. She came right down on me, and I laughed about it, and I told Mark not to worry about it. It's just a thing, you know, those things happen. So anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out, thanks for sticking around. Meet Sylvester. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will catch you on the next one. Down here, you can subscribe if you click on my smiling face. And we got a couple of random videos. We'll catch you on the next one. Later. I'm out of here.